will be pursuing criminals wherever they are. It doesn't matter what firepower they have. It doesn't matter how bad they think they are. We are coming. So this call to police to reduce fatal shooting, it's wrongly directed. It ought to be directed at criminals who raise a gun. You will not get me to tell my police not to pursue criminals. We're going. What I would love these agencies and these persons who are talking about fatal shooting to do is to tell criminals, do not raise the gun at the police. I don't spend millions and millions of dollars in 2024, millions of dollars each month training my OST, my fighting force, so that they don't lose a battle against criminals. I don't train them and invest so much money so that criminals can take them out.
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. The voice that you just heard is an interview that was done by the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Kevin Blake. And he was addressing some concerning questions that Indicom put out there, saying that there has been too many extrajudicial, controversial takeaway of members of the JCF. Specifically, 2025 just started. 10 persons have lost their lives at the hands of the police, some of them by questionable means. Well, the commissioner is letting Indicom know that, listen, I did not spend, we, that is the JCF, the government of Jamaica, did not spend all these millions of dollars training members of the JCF how to avoid, how to take out these criminal elements. We are going to use deadly force whenever it is appropriate. Our recommendation is that Indicom stop pointing the fingers at members of the JCF and point the fingers at the culprit. Because like they say, for every action is an equal and opposite reaction. If they did not confront the police, if they put down their guns when we told them to, and did not engage us in any sorts of gun battle in which we are the more trained personnel, and they just ended up on the SHITTY end of the stick. At the end of the day, we want to go home. And if this means that we will send them home prematurely to the afterlife, that is exactly what we will do. If they don't follow the instruction, if they don't put down their guns, if they don't surrender, we are not trained to hit them in the knee, in the ankle, in the wrist. They stand the risk of losing their life by being sent to the afterlife. Ultimate destination, doom. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that this bun, specifically jacketing, is getting out of hand. Where Jamaica has the dubious distinction of being the worst place, the place in which maybe 6 to 7 of every 10 child that is born as a jacket picnic. That means a whole bunch of bun is given out there on a regular basis. We saw that there was an article in the Star newspaper in which an MP declared that they are going to do everything within their means legally to make sure that every child that is born in a Jamaica is tested, DNA test, to know who is the real pappy of that dear child. There was a next article in the newspaper and it said that an athlete, an entertainer, notable athlete, notable entertainer, was given jacket and he is stressed out. As a matter of fact, if you look at the picture in that article, that person, even though his face was covered, kind of looked like Usain Bolt. So therefore, they might have been insinuating, causing all sorts of controversy. And then there was a post on social media with this individual, and this is exactly what he had to say. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
No, sir. This cannot be true or this cannot be real. Our good superstar athlete runner, Hussein, pull it. I want me here. Why me here? So the 2 pitney we have is not for him. Hold on them, man. 876 DNA lab. Please. You sure say the machine there are work right? You sure say them thing they were both tech is working right? I wonder if they mix it up with somebody else. Because no girl that out of them sounds so stupid and so fooling to give us a legend, jacket picking.
So, people, you heard what this man had to say. Here's my thing when it comes to social media. Believe half of what you see, believe half of what you hear. Always think about the source of your information. Is this source credible or is this source just looking some cloud, want to ride the wave, call up some famous person's name? That way, everybody is going to listen to him. It is all about the views. It is all about stunting for the gram. Social media, that is. Because when you check the facts, Usain Bolt and his wife, Casey, I doubt that Usain Bolt got any sorts of bun. That lady would have to be the stupidest person per Master God Earth. Usain Bolt would know that there's a whole bunch of money, meaning millions, riding on it. And even though he might not have said, listen, we need some sorts of DNA test, that lady know that she would not take any sorts of risk with Usain Bolt. As rich as he is rich, but he is not fool. And I am not swearing for anybody because I don't know their mindset, don't know the intentions of anybody, but I doubt it very much. If I was a betting man, I would say that it is not Usain Bolt. Some people are say Asafa Powell. Now, people, when it comes to Asafa Powell, I don't know either. However, I know that Asafa Powell have been in a very big relationship in which that lady kind of dumped him. She was then in a relationship with Chino. At the time, I don't know if Asafa was busting blank because he was in heavy training or what the circumstances are, or the fact that Asafa is a more mellow type of individual. And it seems as if mellow type of individual, soft kind of men always get the most bun. I am not saying that it is scientific. I am just saying the two names as athletes that were mentioned. Soon after, that same girl had a baby for Chino McGregor. Couple months after she meet him, so people are saying, then hold on a minute. You're dating Asafa for so long, and then as soon as you start dating Chino, you have baby. People, I am not saying that that is a fact. I am just telling you what is out there in the media. At the end of the day, like I said, Jamaica is the epicenter of bun and jackets. MP is declaring that everybody's supposed to take some sorts of DNA tests. People find it more than coincidental that this company that does DNA tests in Jamaica posts a picture in the newspaper looking like Usain Bolt, same sorts of body structure. At the end of the day, this is social media. Nobody wants the truth when the lies mix up. Pasa is more entertaining, not factual, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, based on the picture that you see on your screen presently, his name is Garth Taylor. Garth Taylor works at Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited. He works as a crane operator. However, yesterday was his last day. Based on information, it is said that he left this place of employment and he drove home in his vehicle to Cumberland, which is in Portmore. As soon as he was about to exit his vehicle, there was a bike following closely behind him. Those people upon the bike jump off and blaze him up. He was taken out on the spot. Now, when this man lost his life, there are a couple of motives that have been circulating through his friends and other persons that know him well and know what he is about. One of those possibly is that he is one of those persons based on his link in a customs, Freeport, wharf, or what you want to call it, where he has access to bring in vehicle at a discounted rate. Call it hustle style. It is said that he brought in a vaccine for an individual. That individual must have paid for the vaccine 50% deposit or even the whole thing. However, it is said that when that vaccine reached, that man wanted back his money. That man wanted a refund. That man did not want that vaccine anymore. That is one of the possible motives. Other possible motives, and this is generally speaking, I am not going to say that it applies to this man. When it comes to wharf, when it comes to customs officer in Jamaica, customs as a whole, they are probably the most corrupted, hustling organization in Jamaica. These people are living like kingpins. These people are living way above their pay salary. That means that there's a whole bunch of hustle, there's a whole bunch of purses turning a blind eye for stuff to come through, doing all sorts of deeds for some of your reputable companies. Any and everybody, once you have a link in customs, you can get stuff at a discounted rate. Not going to the tax administration, not going to the purse of Jamaica, going directly in the pockets of all that are hustling in a customs and down a wharf. Those things include, but not limited to, DRUGS, GUNS, anything that is illegal, they are involved. Like I say, once the price is right, the game is on. Everybody down there is hustling, and this is generally speaking. Obviously, it is not going to be 100%. Most purses are corrupted. So therefore, people are willing to turn a blind eye once the price is right, like I said. Don't know if this applies to Mr. Guard Taylor, but more than likely he did business with some unscrupulous character, whether it was the Voxy or whether it was other hustle. And like them say, don't start no ish, won't be no ish. Don't know if he did some shady business. Don't know if the person that he was dealing with was shady and did not want to keep their part of the bargain. Whatever it is, he got the SHITTY end of the stick. So let this be a warning to all of you down there at customs that are dealing with unscrupulous characters. You cannot be money-wise and life foolish. These people will take you out. If everything goes well, everybody eat our food. However, if something goes wrong, these people will come back and eat your food. I think that that is the case as it pertains to Mr. Gart. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called Jamaica is in deep-ish. If we have Delroy Chuck and Dr. Horace Chang as the Justice, Security Minister, Minister of Security, whomever. And I am going to speak specifically about Delroy Chuck in this instance. Based on some statement that was made by Delroy Chuck after the Integrity Commission investigated his Prime Minister Andrew Holness. In an interview in a parliament, Delroy Chuck made it very clear that, listen, I don't see why the Integrity Commission wants to investigate your mother, your wife, your children, when they are trying to do investigations about statutory declaration. That is to see if your salary matches your asset, if you're a thief or if you're being straight edge. We see that they clamped down on the Prime Minister Andrew Holness, and he went and he got some big lawyer and he is suing the Integrity Commission and he's taking the case to court. So therefore, like these sheep, including Mr. Chuck, they are defending their Prime Minister. They have ulterior motive because most of them are hiding-ish. Most of them are not straightforward. Most of them salary is conflicting with the lifestyle that they live. Most of them, that is. So I want you to hear what Mr. Chuck has to say as it pertains to the Integrity Commission and why they are investigating your mother, your sister, your brother, your family, your picnic, and your wife. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
Why is the Integrity Commission asking members to indicate the salaries of their spouse? I mean, or sometimes of their children. And you see, I don't know if this is something that is appropriate, Chairman, because I have advised the relevant member, let them know your spouse is not prepared to divulge their salary to her or him. And therefore, he or she cannot so report it. And these are things that, Chairman, when we get back to the legislation, we have to make it very clear what limits can be put in terms of investigation. We know, Chairman, that they ask information from banks, register of companies, the registry of titles. I know that because they brought up the companies that my name has been on, which were formed 30 years ago, which I totally forgot about. But they found it in the register of companies. So I had to close those 2 companies, which never operated. And I know of other members who have complained, Chairman.
Now, people, after such utterance, BS statement by Delroy Chuck, Minister of Security, Minister of Justice, we see that he is coming under fire from the parliamentary opposition, meaning the PNP side, for making such boneheaded statements. When he said that the people should hinder, the people should block, the people should not give the information readily to the investigators from Integrity Commission, they should do everything to hinder them, block them. This is supposed to be the security minister. This is supposed to be somebody that stands for justice and rights. This is supposed to be somebody that is one of our lawmakers. However, we see that the bigger lawmakers are the bigger lawbreakers in Jamaica. They have ulterior motive. They go by agenda. It is not about rights. It is not about truth. It is not about justice. It is doing what is beneficial to them. If it fits their agenda, if it helps their prime minister, if it helps them to keep power, that is what they are going to be deeming to be right. Even when it is not practical, even when it makes no sorts of common sense. And just remember, when you compound this with the fact that the Justice Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, again, he was one of those that is a stern supporter of the officers that are causing all sorts of controversial extrajudicial takeaway of individuals out there, some of them innocent, some of them not so innocent. He is telling the people that the police don't have to wear any sorts of body cam. He does not see any sorts of benefits. So people, if these are our security and justice minister making these boneheaded comments, we should understand why Jamaica is in the SHIT hole that it is in, because these people don't believe in justice. They believe in agenda. They believe in follow the protocol, following what their people that is beneficial to them, not the best interest of the nation, the people of Jamaica. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.